Good evening. Welcome to Mental Maya Challenge, the last session where you smoke your final cigarette. So let me share my screen. I had shared one link in the afternoon. If you got that, that was the button-up exercise. Please confirm if you got that. Okay, wonderful. So the first exercise that we are going to do is, so what we have to do is before you smoke your final cigarette, we are buttoning it up. So the first thing is there are 10 simple questions there. And the first question is I'm going to help you with a few of them here. What you have to do is after smoking your final cigarette, you have to complete this exercise, which means one is what are my big learnings about quitting smoking? So these 10 questions are basically about, so there are various situations, there are various feelings after you quit smoking that you may run into. And when you have answered these questions, you will always be prepared for them in advance. So the first one is, what are my big learnings about quitting smoking? The second one is, what worked the best for me? The third one is, what are my high risk situations? You have to identify and just write them down. What are the feelings and situations that may lead me back to smoking? So, so when you have quit smoking, you are already done with that. So there are some feelings that which are not here right now, but there would be some situations in which, for example, the high ticket purchases. So in high ticket, for example, you're buying a house, car, or something, and in these high ticket purchases, you smoked a cigarette before finally signing the check. So you just have to be aware and remember that these situations were triggers. So once you are aware of them, you will be very much aware of them when you are actually there, physically present in those situations. So I've just listed some of them. You just have to list it for yourself from your life. What are those, critical situations or high ticket or whatever those situations are? Just list them in your button up exercise so that you are aware of them. Similarly, the next one is, what can I do to avoid going back to smoking? And what can help when I am struggling or feeling bad? So throughout this exercise, what has been helping you, you know that you just have to take a note of it and keep it with yourself. The sixth one is, what can I do if I feel like smoking? What is it that you can do at that moment? The next one is, what will I reply when someone offers me a cigarette? And here is what you reply: no thanks, I'm a non-smoker. What will I say to myself when I see someone smoking? And here is what you say to yourself: thank God that's not me. The next one is, what will I do if I ever unexpectedly find a cigarette? So, it can happen to you 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year down the line, that someday you are doing something and unexpectedly you saw a cigarette there. So what you do at that moment, you just destroy it and throw it into the dustbin. That is what you do. And this is a critical one. So when a friend asks, don't you get the occasional craving? So when you quit smoking and you're not smoking, a week, 10 days down the line, whenever your friends with whom you have been smoking earlier, so they may ask you, are you not getting those occasional cravings? This is what you reply: craving? I'm not able to get out of the happiness that I have quit smoking. So please write down these 4 replies with yourself so that the moment these questions come to you, this is what exactly you reply automatically. Craving? I'm not able to, I mean, you just surprisingly say craving, I am not able to get out of the happiness that I've quit smoking. This is what you exactly reply. And with that, let me, so you can, let's start with Iqbal. Iqbal, you can unmute yourself and tell me you have prepared your place and the exercise that I had given on Sunday. The
Yes.
last cigarette ritual is ready with you.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So just a moment. So Mujahid, that is ready with you also, right?
Yes, it is, Ravi.
Okay, wonderful. So what we have to do now is there is a 10-minute break. You now go ahead, smoke your final cigarette as you have decided, and then we meet at 8:20 here. All right? So the session is live. I am now going to mute for the moment. You are going ahead. There is a 10-minute break. You smoke your final cigarette, and then we meet again at 8:20. All right? Got that? Okay. So we are meeting at 8:20 now. So we are back. Please confirm if you can see me and hear me. So Iqbal, you can confirm if you can hear me. Mujahid, yeah? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank
I
you.
can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So now let's just a moment. So you smoked the final cigarette, Iqbal?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
definitely.
wonderful. So now tell me, how is and what has helped you? Let me know. What is it? Answer this question. What worked the best for me that I want to know from you, Iqbal?
The basic thing which worked for me was your mental strengthening by being able to reason smoking, why smoke, and being aware of the smoking and how to take care of that smoking, and finding
Okay,
out the situations in which I smoke without thinking.
okay.
Those were the most dangerous things because unknowingly I used to just light up.
Hmm.
Now, knowing that I'm going to light up, I've got a defense system in me which can
Right,
prevent me from doing that.
got that. So after this session is over, you have to do what you have to. That link is there on your phone. That the same link, button up link is there. What you have to do is you have to answer all the 10 questions for yourself and submit that form. All right.
Okay.
So, Mujahid, if you can unmute yourself and tell me what worked the best for you.
Oh, okay. Um,
So you can tell me first,
I think
how are you feeling now after smoking that final one?
yeah, I'm feeling uh, I think Ravi, I'm actually in loss of words right now. Because honestly, I would say uh, it is the control of my own thoughts is what I have really learned. How I can control my brain. And honestly, earlier I used to have have a thought that I will have mood swings and things like that. If at all I have to quit smoking anytime, because I have tried a couple of times earlier, and then that's where I landed myself into. Um, but then, through these sessions that I have been following you, I have understood um, it is my brains which has been keeping all this junk all this while, and it is what I will have to control with my own thoughts, and that has actually worked the best for me.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So at the end of the session today, you are going to answer all the 10 questions and submitting the form. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. So let's move on. So there's some things that I want to share with you after smoking this final cigarette. Now, this is what the action steps. One, you have to announce it to. Now you have to certainly announce it to your loved ones that you have quit smoking. Now, if you want to go ahead and announce it to your friend, go ahead and announce whomsoever you can do that. You announce it to the world, announce to everybody that you can do that. But you have to surely announce it to your loved ones in your family. And if and you can announce it to everybody, you can go ahead and just tell everybody that you have quit smoking. Announcement is the key. Second thing is you remove cigarette from your existence completely. So what you have to do is you have to remove that cigarette, lighter, matchbox, the places where you have been smoking. For example, your places where so at your house where you used to smoke, what you have to do is tomorrow in the morning you have to clean those places. So you have to remove the ashtray, lighter, matchbox, cigarettes, that you have to remove right away. But you clean those places yourself at your house, and you do it yourself. You're not getting it done through your by your maid. You're doing it yourself. So tomorrow, so for example, it was a balcony where you were smoking earlier. Wherever you have, there are some spots in that balcony, wherever if is there, you have to just clean that completely. Number two, you have to clean your car completely tomorrow. Just see that your car is completely cleaned up out of ash and whatever. If even some smell is there, it has to be completely cleaned tomorrow. Technically, cigarette has to go out of your existence completely. There are some temptations, like, I can keep that packet, and that I can with my willpower I can just avoid the urge, and I'll keep it there just to make me stronger and stronger. They're all myth. It is, people keep that just for a thought of just in case and all that. So it is not required. It is, I mean, cigarette is behind you now. It is all over. What you have to do is you have to completely remove it from your existence. The you will have smoker friends, and they are your friends. They're not your enemy. This addiction is like that. So there would be some friends who would come to you, and once they know, they will congratulate you that you've quit smoking. There are some friends who, when you are with him or her, they will deliberately smoke that cigarette in front of you and tell you that I'm testing you. I just want to see that where you have got the just they will try to tell you that they're testing you. But it is not their fault. It is just that this addiction is like that. People don't believe that it is possible, and when they see somebody who has completely quit smoking and is not getting affected by somebody else's smoking, they feel deprived themselves. So they feel jealous themselves. And it's not that they're not your true friends. They can be your true friends, but this addiction is like that they tempt to do those silly mistakes or those silly things. So if you find those things, just be aware and just be careful about that. There is one thing called one cigarette syndrome. I mean, these temptations come after 10-15 days, when somebody might tell you that or a thought might come to you like, what would happen with those I can have a few not if the complete cigarette, I can have a few puffs. Those kind of things will be communicated to you by people, by your friends. Kya ho jayega, have a puff. Abhi hai koi baat nahi, we are in a party, so you can just have a puff. You are anyway a non-smoker. Don't fall prey to those temptations, because these things happen to all the smokers, and this is our closest friends do that because they are not aware of it. I mean, they don't believe in the first place that it is possible, and that jealousy, that may not, you may not be able to read that on the face, but that's there. So there will be so many friends who will congratulate you, and who you will find and ask you the secret of how you did that. But there would be still people who would like to have you back in that fold. So just be aware of that. And this one cigarette syndrome, just remember that the cigarette, when you smoke, when you smoked your final cigarette, it is absolutely done and over. The exercise that I have given you with 10 questions, this exercise is exactly about just creating those, all those, be aware of all those situations that might come in future, and you are always prepared about that. Then one word you will hear a lot about is called withdrawal. But withdrawal is, you don't have to worry about that, because you have done it over the last 10 days. and you're already going through that withdrawal phase, and you are past that already. So you don't have to worry about any withdrawal symptom and all that. And withdrawal is if you feel anything, let me tell you, they are all the signs of healing. So whatever you feel, for example, oxygen level increases in the body, so at times you may feel some tingling somewhere. So but that is oxygen level normalizing in the bloodstream. So what is going to happen from now on is only healing. All the damage was there in the past, and whatever is going to take place from now on is all healing. That this body is a miracle itself. It heals itself completely the moment you quit smoking. So there is no withdrawal symptoms, there is no withdrawal feeling. All those are myth, and all those are only stories. And whatever is going to happen to your body now is complete healing. There's something called quit smoking timeline. I'll share that with you. So it is like, or let me share that. Just give me a moment. So I have shared one WhatsApp. It will come to you in the next 5 minutes or so. So that WhatsApp has a PDF, and in that PDF you have a timeline. You can just for your reference, you can just go through that. So it is about what actually happens physically within the body when you quit smoking. So it is that timeline: 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and what healing is taking place. It is just for your reference. You can go through that. The next one is the craving that you used to get while smoking, that craving is actually when the feeling comes to the body, it is the same as a twitch in the stomach. So the way you feel your thirst or the way you feel your hunger, it is a similar kind of feeling like a twitch in the stomach. And in the next 3 to 4 weeks, what is very important is the nutrition. What I mean is, now your body would require so all the chemical imbalances that has happened in the body because of smoking, you just need to ensure that your body is completely supplied with proper nutrition. Avoid junk food and sugar as much as possible for the next 30 days, when all the repair is taking place. I'm not saying not have them. I'm just telling you that just have as much healthy food that you can have. And you can carry some a little food box with yourself, a food box with, so whenever you are going to office or traveling, you can carry a little food box with some seeds, dry fruits, or whatever fruits you like, or dry fruits, or some sprouts, or some healthy meals. You can keep 3 4 items there, so that if you need something in between your meals, you always have something there. And this nutrition is very, very, so try to have those 3 4 little meals in between meals. For example, you had breakfast at 9, so have something at 11:30, a small one scoop of something, or some dry fruits, or some fruit, or whatever you feel like eating. So after lunch and evening dinner, in between time, 4:35, you have some kind of healthy snack that you can have. And avoid junk food for the next 30 days. because this is the time when body is now going to heal itself completely. Next one is all these situations that you would write your answers. You just have to do what? Just do a couple of visualizations for them. So your situations, that what were the, when you will do that 10 question exercise, you will come to understand what can be those situations in which that can be a kind of a stressful situation for me. And what actually happens is in acute stressful situations, uh, if you have just visualized that, you're always ready for them, you're always aware of them. Awareness is the key. That is what I mean to say. So all these questions and exercise, this exercise which is there, it is to just to bring to your awareness that these can be the situations. So when you have done that in advance, when you are there physically present at that moment, it becomes very easy for you to manage. The next one is, and this is the final concluding line, cigarette was a way of running away also for some situations. So it was like so when smoking, you have a real problem at hand, and because of smoking, it just gave you the impression that I am solving that problem or something happened. But once you have quit smoking, there is, like, you can always now face those challenges head on. There is no reason for having any excuse and running away with those excuses. See, when you have quit smoking, it is not that the life will run and continue as it is. There will be ups and there'll be downs, as it was there earlier in our lives. So there'll be ups, downs, good moments, bad moments. All those things will continue to, you will continue to have all of them. It is just that you have to remember that this cigarette always created that void. It is not, I mean, if it is a good moment, smoking creates, I mean, converts a good moment into a bad moment. It converts a bad moment into a worse moment. So it is just that void and nicotine trap that happens. So there is nothing that it does to us. So just do your exercise, be ready and be prepared for all your situations. Once you complete that exercise, your quit smoking journey completes with that, and you become a complete non-smoker. Uh, Now that you have smoked your final cigarette, you're already a non-smoker. Any questions or any query that you have in mind, now you can unmute yourself and ask me. So Iqbal, any question you have?
Hello. Yeah, there's nothing in specific. The only thing is that I hope I can carry on this, because previously even I have left smoking. And after say around say 15 days to 20 days or maybe a month after stopping, that small slip of one cigarette has got me back again. Although the numbers might have decreased, I had stabilized around at 4 cigarettes, but that getting away with the total 4 cigarette was never there. So it came down to two. Yesterday I did not smoke anything. Today I've taken the final smoke, and let's hope that it is really the final smoke.
Okay, Iqbal, let me tell you one thing. There is nothing to hope about now. It is
Yeah.
already behind you. Let me tell you something. So this cigarette, the internal dialogue is very important. Now that you have smoked your final cigarette, internal dialogue is that I am already a non-smoker now, and there is, so all those situations and feelings in which you smoked earlier, so there was a lot of, the kind of preparation and exercises that you have done now, you have already gone past them. So there is no need to hope for that. you are already a non-smoker, and everything is going to become better from here. And that is why that is why I have told you to do this exercise diligently, because the just what you mentioned, that it happens after 2 weeks or 4 weeks, it is because of one of these reasons. Those reasons are here in these 10 questions. And once you do that, you will be very much aware and prepared. Let me tell you one thing. If you can just keep this to yourself, these 3 lines. The moment somebody offers you a cigarette, just practice these 3 lines.
Okay.
The moment somebody offers you a cigarette, just say, no, thank you, I am a non-smoker. And you have to practice it so many times that it becomes absolutely automatic to you.
Yes.
Second thing is, the moment you see someone is smoking, you say to yourself, thank God, that's not me.
Hmm.
The third one is, whenever somebody, I remember, so everybody goes through this. All those 15 years that I was struggling, I would quit smoking on a Friday, and on a Monday I'll go to office, and then I would be there. A friend would come, that let's have a smoke, and I would say something like, I had just quit day before yesterday, so I am not smoking now. You see that dialogue. That means what? That I am sure that I'm going to relapse sooner or later, not today. So
Yeah.
that kind of dialogue actually complicates. So the dialogue has to be changed. So when somebody tells you that don't you crave that occasional cigarette, the third line is, craving, I am not able to get out of the happiness that I've quit smoking. So this is all thought process. So when these are the only 3 situations that is going to come to you now from now on. And for all these 3 situations, if you can just if you can make these 3 answers automatic to yourself, it will be completely very, very easy for you. And it is all in the mindset. It is
Yes.
never about it is always, you have to remember that it is now behind you, and there is no situation that is coming up to get you trapped, because it is all out from you. Yeah, you were saying something, Iqbal.
Yeah, I was saying it is all a mind game in which you have to be above the situation. I
Yeah,
think so.
more than that, you have to be prepared for that. So as I said, when you answer all these 10 questions, you will be prepared for your real life situations. And
Yes.
when you are aware of it, that this can be a situation, then you are absolutely, so a situation is like, I am not aware of it, it happened, and then because of this preparation, you will be able to manage that also. But being aware beforehand is always helpful.
Yes, Ravi. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
My pleasure, Iqbal. So Muzahid, hello.
Yeah, Ravi. So my key takeaway here is, I think that one point that you clearly distinguish there is, get rid of
You
every accessory.
Your voice is cracking a bit, Muzahid.
Is it okay now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so I was saying that one thing that you clearly demarked, saying that get rid of every accessory that is there, be it the cigarette
Right.
lighter, matchbox, and all those things.
Right.
Um, that is one key takeaway. And the biggest devil that I have personally seen during the earlier process and this process was keeping the stock.
Yeah.
The stock is the worst thing, where
Yeah.
knowingly, unknowingly, we will straight away reach out to.
Yeah.
And the third takeaway, the key takeaway that I have personally is the um, the exercises that you have given. For example, the morning and the night rituals. These are going to help even further. I mean, it's not something that I am going to stop today.
Yeah.
I will have to continue this
Yeah.
or until the time for the next couple of months where I am totally confident that yes, this thing has completely gone out of my life.
Yes, absolutely. So you carry on with the exercises, and yeah, that is what I was coming to. So this is one. So Smoking Journal 3 remains with you all the time. So you can. So Iqbal, when you mentioned that, you can always use this Smoking Journal 3. And
Okay.
and secondly, the exercises is what you continue with. So it becomes a part of your life. These are all something that and physical activity or the little exercise that I have given you, they take hardly 5 minutes in the morning to do, and you just carry on with all those exercises. That is always even otherwise also they are very helpful in having our perspectives and having our head cool throughout. And you were saying something, Iqbal.
Right, it's all right. The exercise and all those are to be carried on definitely. And is there anything linking that you take a specific type of food and then you do not get any this craving, or there is some food which are going to increase your craving?
Yeah, so as I said, so there's nothing like that. The craving is only mental. 90% is
Yeah.
mental, only 10% is physical. But for the next 30 days, as I said, avoid junk and high sugar food. These two types of foods have to be avoided. One thing that you can do in particular is you can take steam inhalation. That helps in terms of cleaning up many things that has happened because of the nicotine. So that is the only extra thing that you can do if you want to do is steam inhalation. Nothing more than that. Nothing else is required. As far as food is concerned, only about junk food and high sugar food that needs to be, I mean, I'll not say avoided. It has to be, I mean, uh, if it can be of little. If you are having used to having them, you can just cut down on their intake, or if you can just manage them for the next 30 days.
Thank
There is
you.
no other food as such, or there is no other advice. Whatever food patterns you have, or however you have been eating, you just carry on with that. Nothing else is required. My only thing was that you have to have the proper nutrition throughout the day. There should not be any. So for the next 30 days, it has to be, so those small 3 meals between breakfast, lunch, and dinner is necessary. So if you are already having them, great. If you're not having them, keep those small 4-5 boxes with you, that you can eat it at the gap of 2-3 hours after breakfast, 2-3 hours after lunch, and before dinner. So that is what needs to be maintained. Nothing more specific or special required. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything regarding water intake?
Water intake is, 5 liters of water is what normally we should drink. I mean, there's nothing is specific that you have to do. So, water is like, normally what is your intake per day? Water.
3 to 3.5 liters.
Okay. So I mean, so around 4.5 liters, you can just increase a bit. So, okay. So for these 30 days, the healing process that is going to take place, if you have your normal thing, just add a liter of water throughout the day. A lukewarm water, if you can add, that would be good. But let me tell you one thing. These are just in terms of kind of, if you are willing to do that, if you can do that, do that. Otherwise, as such, not required.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So with this, what I have now is I have also sent you the link for the one-to-one session. I would advise you to use that link after tomorrow. So you can use that link, have one-to-one session. That one-to-one session is about after 2 or 3 days, where we can have a one-to-one chat about how is it. If you want to discuss anything, you can use that. Fair enough. Yeah, Mujahid, you have a question?
Yeah, my question was actually revolving around this one-to-one discussion. Um, so will there be any kind of validity or a time frame that you would want in case I do not want to take it in the next 2-3 days time. I would want to prolong this, say, for the next a week or 10 days, and then I request you for a call. Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So that calendar has, I think, 4 days ahead. It can be, it is there. So you can always do that. Yeah. The same link will remain. You can use that link even after 15 days.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. I congratulate you once again on smoking your final cigarette.
Thank you.
Yeah, so smoking is behind you now. And just complete this exercise right now only, the 10-question exercise that I said. And then whenever you feel like that link is there with you, we can have that one-to-one session and we can meet there. So with this, thank you so much. Take care. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night. And
Thank you, Ravi. And Ravi, just in case if any of my acquaintances or any of my friends would want to go through these sessions with you, how do I just
Okay.
give the WhatsApp number?
Yeah, so you can just send the number. We would invite them to that weekend class, and from there they can sign up. It happens every Saturday evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ravi, and Iqbal. Congratulations to you as well for smoking the final cigarette.
thank you. Same to you, Mujahid.
Thank you.
We are on to another journey now.
Absolutely. So
All
take
right.
care. Good night.
Take care, gentlemen.
Thank
See you.
you. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.